Hey, what's up guys? John here. The biggest storm in San Diego in almost 200 years just happened.
San Diego's mayor declaring a state of emergency yesterday after days of heavy rain and widespread flooding.
I'm going to show you a couple videos to show you what's happening right now in California. Most importantly, what's going to be happening nationwide, because the same exact threat of what's going on in California is now going to Louisiana, to Texas, to Mississippi. There's even travel bans going out in New York. There's a lot of really big things happening right now that I believe are going to impact America in the biggest way we've ever seen. I think property insurance is about to go through the roof. Auto insurance, everything is about to get much more difficult. Let's just put it that way.
New data shows homeowners' insurance rates are rising.
Americans behind the wheel across the country, all roads lead to the same place, skyrocketing insurance rates.
And I think if you're putting yourself in a really strong position, you're going to be able to take advantage of some of these really big wealth transfer opportunities, because point blank, a lot of people are leveraged. A lot of people aren't going to be able to move and pivot when times get tough. And from what's happening right now, it looks like we're walking into tough times. And I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to show you these videos. I mean, there's some of them are getting 20, 30 million views. They're breaking the internet. So I'm going to show you these videos. I'm going to show you what's happening right now with property insurance and auto insurance. And I'm going to show you how this thing, I believe, is going to likely unfold in 2024. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. YouTube will share the content, educate more people about what's going on in America's housing market and economy. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for what I believe is going to be the greatest transfer of wealth and assets in American history, you're going to need great credit. So if you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any credit issues, we would love to help you, give you a free strategy session at GreatCreditFast.com. You can click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free call. Take a look at this. So this is crazy.
Door closed, keep the door closed. Whoa! Whoa! What? Where's Viv? Where's Viv? Where? You good? You good?
Look at that.
Oh my God. Jake, are you okay? Coming in.
1.3 million likes, 28 million views on just this one video. Look at this video. It takes...
In case you didn't know, it's flooding in San Diego right now. Check this out.
Yeah, we're here on University Avenue. What's across the street over there?
What is that, a truck?
Of Aragon.
Look at how it takes this white, it looks like a Toyota Corolla, and it just throws it into this newfound river. Unreal. Look at this. And you have to ask yourself, these cars, do you think they have insurance? Do you think they are going to be able to, have that right coverage where they're going to get compensated? If they do, what do you think the auto insurance companies are going to do? You think they're just going to absorb the losses, or do you think they're going to look at risks differently and they're going to continue to increase insurance premiums? Presently, insurance has increased at the highest pace in 47 years in just 2023. I believe we're going to see insurance costs skyrocket, and at the same time, when you look at $1.6 trillion in auto loan debt, you look at the rising cost of interest rates and the rising cost of just owning a vehicle, I think a lot of people are going to get pushed over the edge. Look at this. Monday morning, storm causes major flooding in San Diego. He's on a little kayak. All these businesses are going to incur massive losses. And so when you look at how many people actually have coverage, only 2% of people have coverage, the right coverage to actually insure these properties. So how are they going to be able to go out there and resume business as normal? I don't think a lot of them will. And instead, what I think is going to happen is a lot of investors are going to go out there and start paying all cash for these deals, because a property is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay. And if many buyers can't afford it, especially at today's price points, it doesn't make any sense to purchase, what are they going to do? The smaller pool of buyers and an increased pool of distressed sellers is going to drive down prices in a very big way. So right now, this is San Diego Tribune. Does your San Diego homeowners insurance cover flooding and storm damage? When a once in a century, well, according to USA Today, it's 175 years. So the wettest day in 175 years. When a once in a century storm struck in San Diego this week, inundating homes, businesses, and roads with buckets of rain, many of us likely figured we could turn to insurance for help. Trouble is, most standard insurance policies don't cover water damage from a storm. That's the role of flood insurance, a policy protection that few households purchase statewide. Fewer than 2% of Californians have flood insurance on their homes. And even in a high-risk area where it's clearly warranted, less than 50% carry such a policy, according to the California Department of Insurance. A federal database documenting flood insurance policies by state and counties shows there's only 8,128 such policies in San Diego County. That total could include property owners as well as renters, businesses, and regional spokesperson for FEMA. People don't get it because it's an added cost, and if you've never had an issue, the human assumption is that you haven't had the problem yet, you probably won't ever have the issue. So now let's look at this. Now they're saying more states under flash flood threat. San Diego recovers from devastating rain. Parts of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi were under flash flood warnings on Wednesday as torrential rain poured the region, and officials warned of life-threatening conditions. What I believe is going to happen next couple of years, I think a couple of unique things are going to unfold here. So we are already seeing what's going on with office real estate, all-time high on vacancies. We have $2.7 trillion worth of properties, commercial properties. So you think industrial parks, think office buildings, think multifamily, 5 units and above, commercial loans. All these properties, 1 in 10 in America has to go back to the bank. Overall, all commercial properties in America are worth about 20 trillion. So 2.7 trillion, about 10%, right? 10% of all these properties have to go back to the bank, and the bank is going to look at the income that is driven from this asset now, which is going to be reduced because vacancies are at all-time high. The increased insurance and taxes, so you're going to see an increased borrowing cost. So the income's falling and the costs are rising. What is that going to do? It's going to issue a massive discount on these assets. And then you're going to see a lot of buyers that are disappearing because they're going to look at the writing on the wall, realizing it's going to be hard to sell these properties. So as the banks start taking this inventory back because they're not going to refinance it, and there's a smaller pool of buyers, the discounts are going to get great. They're going to get huge. And so what I believe is going to happen is we're going to see banks continue to tighten up lending, and we're going to see insurance companies, many of which go belly up and many of which consolidate to where we only have a handful of companies that are basically running all of America. And it's going to get a lot harder to buy properties, a lot harder to insure properties, and cash buyers are going to be running the game. That's what I think is about to happen here. In New York right now, Governor Hochul, now they put in a travel ban. So you think about this, a travel ban because of weather. I believe this is going to be something that is going to become more normalized. It sounds crazy because a couple of years ago, 5-6 years ago, you would have never, ever imagined that there would be a travel ban. I believe that, and you've heard of people talking about this potentially coming down the road. I believe it's here, and I think that this situation is just in the beginning stages of this. So what she's proposing, she is now saying that they're committing $435 million to help people with their homes, communities, and infrastructure to become more resilient against this. So imagine this. Imagine someone's investing money into your home to help it become more resilient. Would you owe them? Would there be some type of agreement, or are they just doing this out of the goodness of their heart? I think it's pretty concerning that the state of New York will be able to invest for almost $500 million into a lot of people's homes and infrastructure. I think there's going to be some strings attached. If I were a betting man, I would bet that there's probably going to be some strings attached. And I think that what's happening in New York and California operate in a very, very similar way. I think what's happening in New York is going to be happening in California and other markets. So look at this, 10 minutes ago, why is my car insurance so high? The national average cost of full coverage car insurance climbed to 26% from 2023 to 2024. I believe car insurance is going to be going up in a very, very big way. And look at what FEMA is doing. So this situation came out yesterday, January 23rd, 2024. Forbes. FEMA overhauls disaster aid program, cities, and then this because of this, right? And it reminds me of that statement from Glenn Kelman, the CEO of Redfin, saying that in areas of high risk, it's going to become very, very hard for actuaries, meaning insurance companies and lenders, to be able to fund deals and cover deals inside of these areas. And I believe that some of these really, really prone areas will be San Diego, Orange County, Miami, St. Petersburg, all along the coast, Fort Myers. All of these areas are going to just become extremely challenging and really difficult to become insured, right? The federal So the FEMA agency is making it easier for disaster victims to get financial help they need. FEMA has announced an updated disaster relief measure meant to streamline the process of applying for aid. The goal is to become faster, more flexible support to meet survivors of their housing and financial needs. Think about this. You have New York investing in property. Now you have FEMA coming in, right? In light of an extreme weather events fueled by this, said in a new release. The agency said it's based the changes on the feedback it is solicited from disaster survivors. FEMA is fast-tracking the new rule published Monday in the Federal Register and expects it to take effect in late March. Limitations on federal assistance have frustrated survivors and delayed recovery for far too long. FEMA Administration Deanne Criswell said in a statement, adding that officials are determined to remedy the situation and help reach more people. Help for homeowners facing this insurance gap. Now, I've spoken a lot about this, saying that insurance is going to be a really, really big problem. And I'm not saying this to concern anyone, but I do believe that if you are thinking about investing in real estate, if you are thinking about maybe you own a property, you should really look at the trends with insurance inside of your market. Because I believe if you look at what the future is going to look like, it's going to be a world of cash buyers that are going to be able to go out there and take advantage of some really, really big opportunities. You might look in your market and say, hey, John, homes here are $500,000. It's $600,000. I'm not going to be able to pay all cash. I have 20K, I have 50K, I have 100K, whatever the number may be. When you have this situation where this pool of buyers may need to be all cash in your market, that pool of buyers is going to continue to shrink. And if sellers, home buyers in 2021, 2022, the only reason they were able to buy is because they were able to finance 94%, because the average person is putting down 6% down, 94% of the property value in a low interest rate mortgage. What are you going to have? You're going to have a lot of people that are extremely leveraged on their properties. And as insurance continues to rise, a lot of people probably walking away from these properties, especially when you couple in what's happening now in the job market. So if you have wages falling and costs rising, it's going to equate to a situation where a small amount of buyers are going to be able to control the values of these assets. So I think a lot of opportunity is going to be coming for smart and savvy real estate investors. And if you're thinking about investing, pay very, very close attention to these trends. 2024, 2025 be the greatest wealth transfer in American history. I'd almost bet anything on it. We're walking into it. It started, 2008 kind of gradually moving in. 2020 just ramped it up further. Now the big show is about to get started. Drop below. Let's have a conversation about this. If you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself, maybe to get business funding, maybe you have some really, really big goals. The next couple of years, if you can build a moat of safety around yourself and your family by making really smart decisions, you'll thank yourself forever. So if you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session. Catch you next video.